Jai Shrimanarayana and Jai Hanuman. From Way to Moksha, we wish everyone a happy Gita Jayanti. So today we are going to have a session about Gita Jayanti and Mokshada Ekadashi. So today is the day, Bhagavad Gita was given to the world. That's why today is Gita Jayanti. So it's Bhagavad Gita's birthday. So when I say it's Bhagavad Gita's birthday, it is the day it was given to the world, but it was not the day when Sri Krishna Paramatma preached Arjuna. So if we look into, the Mahabharatam, after Sri Krishna Paramatma has preached Arjuna all the Bhagavad Gita, when he was not ready to take over his responsibility and go for the war, that's when Sri Krishna Paramatma had to preach Arjuna to, know about yourself and know about your responsibilities and be ready to get to the war. So after, the wars, after the Bhagavad Gita happens, after the war starts, actually the war starts on the first day of the Margasirsha month. This is the month of Margasirsha, right? So the war starts on the first day of Margasirsha month, and the first day itself, Bhagavad Gita was preached by Sri Krishna Paramatma to Arjuna. So after the Bhagavad Gita was preached, Arjuna gets ready to get to the war, and the war starts and the war happens. So after the war, like while the war is happening, on the 11th day of the war, their grandfather, the Pandavas and Kauravas' grandfather, the great Bhishma Pitamaha, he falls down from the chariot. That means he's been beaten and he falls down from the chariot and he's placed on a bed made of arrows, which is called an ampasaya. So he is placed on the 11th day of the war. So, whatever important events happen in the war, they are being told to the king of that country. So, as usual, the Kauravas king, the Dhritarashtra, gets the news that Bhishma Pitamaha has fallen down and is on the Ampashaya. So that's when, till then, Dhritarashtra, he doesn't have any kind of fear, he was always confident that his sons are gonna win because he had Bhishma Pitamaha and Dronacharya and Karna on their side. So he was very confident, my sons are gonna win. But when he hears the news that Bhishma Pitamaha has fallen down, a panic enters him. That's when he asks his friend Sanjaya. We all know that Sanjaya was given a boon by Vyasa Maharshi that he can see what is happening in the war, and if Dhritarashtra is interested, he can relay whatever was happening. But in the first days, Dhritarashtra is not interested even to listen to that because he was very confident, my sons are going to win. But when he hears that, Bhishma Pitamaha has fallen down, that's when he calls Sanjaya and asks him, what happened in the war field? What are Kauravas and Pandavas doing when Bhishma Pita has fallen down? Why are they not taking care of him? So when he asks this question, Sanjaya uses his boon to see the war field live, with the vision given by Vedavyasa Maharshi. That's when he sees from the beginning of the war. That is the first day of Margasirsha month. So when he gets the vision of the entire war happening, the first thing what he sees is that Arjuna and Krishna, they are having a conversation, and Arjuna asks Krishna to take him into the middle of the war field. So once he sees everybody, he gets frightened, and he puts his bow down, and he tells Krishna Paramatma that he's not gonna participate in the war because he doesn't want to kill all his relatives, and he speaks so much of what we call as Vedantam. He speaks so much that he doesn't want his family members, he doesn't want to get the papam by killing them and all that. When Sri Krishna Paramatma hears all this, that's when he gets an opportunity to preach Arjuna the Bhagavad Gita. So what does Bhagavad Gita preach Arjuna? Like, what does he tell Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita? He tells to Arjuna that who Arjuna is, what is the actual, what is the origin of Arjuna, and also who Sri Krishna Paramatma is, and what are the responsibilities of human beings, and how are they supposed to live their lives and perform their day-to-day responsibilities or any kind of responsibility. How are they supposed to perform without fear? And he also gives him the Atmajnanam, what is the soul, what is God, like how a soul can approach the God, like everything. He gives all the information in detail. This is all included in Bhagavad Gita. So this is what he preaches Arjuna on the first day of Margasirsha Masam. But after the Bhishma Pitamaha falls down, as Sanjaya, looks over all what was happening in the past 3 days, like a rewind, how we rewind the movies or anything. He rewinds the entire war, and he sees from the beginning, and he gives the entire what was happening in the war from day 1 to the 11th day. He gives the entire summary, like entire vision as is to the to Dhritarashtra. So what happens when when Sri Krishna Paramatma was preaching Bhagavad Gita to him? Like everybody could hear that. Did Sanjaya hear it on the first day? So here, Sri Krishna Paramatma, we all know, he has a quality called Krishikeshitvam, where he is capable of controlling our senses, like all the senses he has the capability to control. That's why he's called Hrishikesha. So he uses that Hrishikeshatvam when he was preaching the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Only Arjuna could hear the Bhagavad Gita. The entire war field was like frozen, He made everybody, the animals, the elephants, the horses, and everything that was present in the war field, it was made into statues. No human could hear that Bhagavad Gita. Only Arjuna was able to hear that Gita. Maybe we don't know, maybe devatas, or maybe the rishis who had the capability to listen, maybe they might have heard. We do not know anything about that very clearly, but we can assume that maybe they might have heard, but none of the humans or animals or any of the beings could hear the Bhagavad Gita. It was only and only preached to Arjuna. And on the 11th day of the war, as Sanjaya has again revoked everything and has spoken to Dhritarashtra, as he has spoken to Dhritarashtra, it was available to the rest of the world. So that is why today is the day Sanjaya has, given the Bhagavad Gita to Dhritarashtra. So that is why we consider today as Bhagavad Gita's birthday. So today is the Gita Jayanti. So it is very auspicious to even listen or to chant Bhagavad Gita today. If you can't chant or listen to the entire Gita, even if you chant a little bit, even if you chant even like a one shloka, or even if you listen to a little bit of it also, you get that power, or you get those energies of the Gita itself. And also, when we are listening and when we are hearing to the Gita, it is very, very difficult to to anyone to understand the Gita very precisely and in the right way. It is very, very difficult to comprehend Bhagavad Gita. So we all should wish today, whenever we listen to Gita, we should request Sri Krishna Paramatma that he gives us the energy to comprehend Gita as is. Whatever the essence or whatever the meaning he has given in Gita, we should pray to him that we should be able to understand the Gita whenever we listen or whenever we read Bhagavad Gita. So that is the beauty of Gita, He has actually given it to the entire human race. Because I think during when he had given the Bhagavad Gita, he was almost in his 80s of age. So he knows, Dwapara Yugam is coming to an end. And next to Dwapara, the Kali Yuga is going to come in. And in Kali Yuga, people won't be much interested even to perform their duties or even not interested to lead a dharmic life. So they would be in a great need of this Bhagavad Gita. That is the reason he has taken that opportunity to preach Arjuna, because Arjuna is a great warrior. We should never think that, Arjuna does not know anything. He was preached by Sri Krishna Paramatma. No, Arjuna was a great warrior and he was called Gudakesha. I'm sure you might have known the meaning of Gudakesha. Gudakesha means one who has, overcome the sleep and lethargy in his life. You can imagine one who has overcome sleep or laziness in his life. You can imagine how great that person is. So Arjuna is that kind of person. We should never think that Arjuna is something low and he was preached Bhagavad Gita. He was preached Bhagavad Gita, but for the people who are living in Kali Yuga, the Bhagavad Gita was given by Sri Krishna Paramatma. So we should all thank Arjuna for this opportunity, for giving us, Bhagavad Gita, and also we should thank Sri Krishna Paramatma for giving us Bhagavad Gita. And another beauty of today is also the Mokshada Ekadashi. It's called Mokshada Ekadashi. So what is the beauty of Mokshada Ekadashi? We see like Ekadashi every fortnight. So many Ekadashis come. So what is the beauty of today's Ekadashi? So Mokshada Ekadashi, not only we can liberate ourselves, the beauty of today is we can also liberate our ancestors and forefathers. That is the beauty of today's Ekadashi. So today, after this session, we are going to do a meditation. In the meditation, we are going to do on Bhagavad Gita and as well Mokshada Ekadashi. So, Ekadashi, as you all know, we perform a fast. So how usually this fast should be performed? Usually what they tell us is the day before Ekadashi, on the Dashami night itself, they ask us not to have any dinner. Even if you eat, it should be very early, like, before 6 o'clock or 5:30 around, you can finish your dinner and you should be on your empty stomach. And from then on, the next day, the entire Ekadashi, we are supposed to fast. We can fast even like some, usually what they say is you should not take water, you should not take any kind of food inside until the next day, the morning of Dwadashi. It sounds very difficult. So if anybody cannot do it this way, they can have water or they can have fruits. They can have like very, light food, something which is not heavy, and rice is strictly prohibited on this day. So, as we all know, we are like nowadays we are hearing so much about intermittent fasting and the autophagy which happens in our body when we fast, more than, I think it's more than 20, 21 or 22 hours. Once the body is fasted for those many hours, that's when I think the ketosis process starts. And that's when all the bad cells in the body are killed. So Ekadashi fasting has a beautiful scientific reason behind why a human, why any person should observe fasting on this day. So if anybody is interested to observe fasting from now on, or you have been observing already, Dashami evening itself, the fast starts, and the entire Ekadashi, you should remain fasting, and you should consume food the next day morning of Dwadashi. You don't need to do like go till the afternoon. In the morning, after you finish your, the morning duties and the morning aradhana and everything, that's when you can have your food. So that is how like anyone can observe Ekadashi. So today's for Mokshada Ekadashi, as I mentioned, today's Ekadashi has the beauty to liberate not oneself but also liberate our ancestors. And today's day has a greater energy for spiritual transformation. If we can, if it's not if we can, we should listen or chant Bhagavad Gita, and pray Lord Vishnu. Pray Lord Vishnu means keeping him in our thoughts, the entire day, and keeping being in surrenderance, and thinking about him, thinking about his stories, or being in surrenderance with him, and doing all our activities being in surrenderance with him. So that's what we are supposed to do today. So Ekadashi is the 11th, lunar day. We get every fortnight, like every 14 days, we get one Ekadashi. So there is a small story associated with this Mokshada Ekadashi. So what they say is, this story was given by Sri Krishna Paramatma to, Yudhishthira, the older of the Pandavas, the Dharma Raju. So this story was given by Sri Krishna Paramatma. So the story goes something like this. There was a kingdom called, Champakavati, and in the kingdom, the king who was ruling was called Vaikanasa. So one day, Vaikanasa, while he was asleep, in his dream, his deceased father comes. Deceased means he's already passed away. His dead father comes into his dream and tells him that after his death, he did not go into the higher realms. He has gone into the lower realms. So he pleads the king, he pleads his son to do something and bring him into the higher realms, and where he can go into the Paramapadam, or where he can get moksham, passing on to the, from the higher realms to the moksha. So that's what he requests his son in the dream. After that king, Vaikanasa, after he wakes up, he calls his ministers and everybody, and asks what is the solution for this, that he has got this dream. He has got his father in his dream, and what is the solution? So they all suggest him to go to Lord Parashurama, you know. So he goes into the forest to Lord Parashurama and asks for a solution for this problem, how I can bring my father into the higher realms. So then Parashurama talks about this Mokshada Ekadashi, which is going to come, in coming days. You can observe this Mokshada Ekadashi with offering prayers to Lord Vishnu and offering, like observing the fast on Mokshada Ekadashi and praying to your ancestors. And, in your prayers, you can ask them, or you can, pray to the Lord, pray to Lord Vishnu to bring your ancestors from lower realms to the higher realms. So after he performs the Mokshada Ekadashi, it is said in the story that his father from the lower realms, than the earth, he is brought up to the higher realms. He travels through those higher realms and he goes to the Paramapadam and he attains moksha over a period of time. So that is what is said in this story. So we are also going to do a meditation. So I want everybody, to be seated in a comfortable position. And as you're seated comfortably, just close your eyes. And relax yourself. We are going to take 3 deep breaths and relax ourselves. And while we are doing this, our nervous system and also our mind is allowed to relax. So when you're taking deep breaths, I request you, when you're inhaling, take a deep inhale, like, and when you're exhaling, keep it as slow as possible. So do this 3 times. Take a nice deep breath and let go slowly. Do it 3 times. Now our mind and entire body is relaxed and calm. We are going to take awareness slowly to our body. So take your awareness to your crown, top of your head. The entire head and scalp, face. As we are doing this, you can take deep breaths or you can take normal breathing. Relax your entire face. Take your awareness towards your neck, throat, shoulders, heart, belly, legs, feet, as you scan your entire body, just release and relax yourself. And now move your focus onto your heart chakra. You can feel the heartbeat. See a beautiful golden light in your heart. As your heart chakra is opening, visualize a beautiful white lotus in your heart. Visualize those petals and center of the lotus. And feel those petals, how soft they are. And in the center of the lotus, there we see Sri Krishna Paramatma standing with his feet crossed. His right leg is straight and his left leg is crossing his right feet, and he's standing there. Visualize his feet. The beautiful anklets on his feet. His legs, he is adorned with a yellow garment. His waist. We all know he is called as Damodara. So visualize the mark formed on his waist. That mark is formed when, Ma Yashoda ties him up as a child to the stone grinder. So visualize the mark. Visualize the beautiful jewelry adorned on his chest, hanging from his neck. He has a wide open chest, and towards his right side, with his both the hands, he is holding on to the flute and playing music for us. Visualize his palms, his fingers playing the flute, his neck, the beautiful smiling face, and the flute near his lips, and those beautiful pink lips. And the bluish hued body and face. Look at his eyes. He is adorned with the Tirunamam on his forehead and a beautifully jeweled crown on his head. And the hair locks are curled and falling onto his shoulders. And on the crown, you can see the peacock feather. From the peacock feather, the crown, beautiful hair locks falling onto his shoulders, his face, smile, eyes, nose, his ears, and the ornaments on his ears. His hands holding on to the flute and playing the music. His neck, the beautiful jewels he is adorned with, and his body and his legs and his feet. You can offer a beautiful small lotus onto his feet. And tell him, give me the knowledge and energy to stay surrendered to you all throughout my life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As we see Sri Krishna Paramatma in our heart, you are seated next to him on the ground, offering lotus to him and asking for surrenderance. Now we are gonna invite our forefathers and ancestors. You can invite, if you remember, as much as your family members, whoever has passed away, how many of them you can remember. Please take a moment to invite all of them and ask them to be here with us and do the meditation along with us with Sri Krishna Paramatma. So invite everybody. Now, all our ancestors and forefathers and family members who have left this earth, they are all with us now. We are going to pray to Sri Krishna Paramatma to offer higher realms to all our ancestors and forefathers and all the family members who have left us. Hey Sri Krishna Paramatma, please, we are surrendered to you. Please offer higher realms and finally Paramapadam to all our forefathers, our ancestors, all our family members, friends who have left us from this earth. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And visualize all the ancestors, forefathers, family members, friends who are not with us anymore, going on to the higher realms. and finally reaching the Paramapadam. See, they have touched the Virajanadi. After the Virajanadi, once they enter the Paramapadam, they are gonna get the Pancha Upanishanmaya Shariram. That means the energetic body which does not have any pain, they do not have any need to sleep, wake up, anything. It's completely energetic body. And they are all taken by the souls in Paramapadam. Whoever is in Paramapadam, already living in Paramapadam, visualize them. They all have the same form as Lord Narayana. So they will be having Shanku Chakra and everything. So visualize them like that, and they will be taking our forefathers into the Paramapadam. So first they are gonna take them to a small lake which is called Airamadan. The lake in the Paramapadam is called Airamadam. So they are gonna take everybody into that lake, have them bathe them in the lake. Now they are completely filled with the love for Lord Vishnu, because once you are in Paramapadam, you are there for the service of Lord Narayana. So they are completely filled with the love for Lord Narayana. Now they are going to be taken to a tree called Tillai. The tree, there is a huge tree next to that lake. The tree is called Tillai, and all our ancestors are being seated there. And they are adorned with beautiful jewels, beautiful ornaments, nice clothing. And here comes Garudalvar to take all our forefathers to the mandapam where Lord Narayana is. So he is coming with a huge chariot. Visualize Lord Garuda. See his wings, see his huge body, eyes, his beak. Have a good vision of his eyes, his beak, his body, his wings. And on the body, there is a huge chariot. So he's going to come and land near this Tillai Vruksham, and they are going to be seated, all the ancestors, they are going to be seated on Garudalvar, and he's going to fly them, to the place where Lord Narayana is. So as they are getting on to him, getting on the stairs, and getting into the chariot, they are seated beautifully on those white soft seats. After they're all seated, he is gonna fly them all. So as Garudalvar flies into the air, you can see the entire Paramapadam, how it is. There, there is no day or there is no night. There is no sun or moon. It's always beautifully lighted with the entire Paramapadam is filled with the Sattvagunam. That means calmness, peace, and the flowers are all always open. The flowers do not close there because there is no day and night. And see those big honeybees. getting the honey from the flowers. See, visualize those beautiful mountains in the Paramapadam. Our ancestors are crossing all those mountains, beautiful gardens, and everything. And they are gonna reach the place where Lord Narayana is. So, wherever there is Lord Narayana, what do we see? A huge Dvajastambham, which is represented by Garudalvar himself. So visualize the beautiful huge Dvajastambham, and Garudalvar is gonna land slowly near the Dvajastambham, and visualize the beautiful palace in front. And they have to pass through 7 doors, huge 7 doors to get to Lord Narayana. So as they get down from Garudalvar, they are all thanking Garudalvar for bringing him here. And look at that beautiful palace in front of you. It is studded with jewels, all types of precious jewels. And the construction is so beautiful, carved with beautiful designs. And as we head towards that, you can see Jaya Vijaya. They are the doorkeepers for Paramapadam, right? Lord Narayana. So we are going to ask their permission to let us go inside. So visualize our forefathers going inside as those huge doors open. There you can see all our gurus, Adi Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, all our gurus who has given the knowledge to reach this place. Thank them all. See the alvars, the 12 alvars who were in complete love with the Lord Narayana. As we are passing them, we are going to get into the next prakaram, passing those doors. You can see Lord Vishwaksena accompanied with his wife Sutravati. Vishwaksena, you can visualize him sitting on a chair, holding onto a stick in his right hand, because he is the commander of chief for Lord Narayana. He is the one who lets anybody to go and see Lord Narayana. So we are going to take his permission for our ancestors. Thank you, Lord Vishwaksena. And then we are going to pass that prakaram and go on to see Lord Adisesha. We are going to prostrate before him and ask his permission to go forward. And we are going to go into the chambers of Garudalvar himself, who brought all the ancestors here. We are going to thank Garudalvar. And now, finally, we are going to enter the last prakaram. It's a huge hall. It has 1,000 pillars in that huge hall. All those pillars are studded with gems and beautiful carvings on the pillars. And far away in that huge hall, you can see a beautiful seat which is called as Dharmapeetam. And below that seat, you can see huge kurma, tortoise. You can see the namam on his head. On the top of that huge tortoise is the Dharmapitam, is a beautiful seat on which you can see a beautiful huge lotus. A beautiful pink lotus is on that seat, and on the lotus is seated Lord Narayana with, on his right side you can see Lakshmi Devi, and on his left side you can see Bhudevi, Neela Devi, and a little lower you can see Goda Devi. And behind the Lord Narayana and Devis, you can see the beautiful Adisesha. Visualize all his 7 heads, eyes, the fangs. Visualize his skin. From this side, we are able to see his white skin, and on the other side, his skin is darker in color. Visualize him. He is coiled and forming a seat for the Lord. And next to the Lord and the Deveris, you can see all the weapons standing in a deity form and, offering the chamaram for the Lord and the Devis. And now you can visualize the 4 ancestors, our forefathers, going near the Lord. Once you go near the Lord, what are you going to say? We are going to say to him, Aham Brahmasmi. What does Aham Brahmasmi mean? Aham Brahmasmi means, I belong to you, O Lord. So when you say, I belong to you, he's going to be so happy, because he has found his lost child. He's going to pick them up one by one and seat them on his lap. How do you feel when you see your child who has come after a long time to see you? He's going to feel the same way. He's feeling the same way. And he passes on your ancestors one by one to Lakshmi Devi, the mother. The mother's divine energy is caring for the child. She's so happy to see them. All of them are so happy to see them. And the Lord takes them from Lakshmi Devi and puts him down. And he lets us enter through his left feet. His feet are big, and we are very small. So he lets us enter through his feet, and we are going to pass through his left side onto his right side, getting all the energy from him needed for us. And we are going to exit from the right foot. See all the ancestors coming out from the right foot and getting all the energy needed from him. They are all purified now. They are completely purified and they are ready to live in Paramapadam. And the Lord, they are gonna say to the Lord, thank you, Lord. We are ready to offer you service. So here, you can become a tulsi mala, you can become a garland, you can become his footwear, you can become anything what you want to do, like any kind of service. You can offer flowers, you can sing him songs, anything. You can dance for him, you can do any kind of service for him. See the ancestors doing that. And thank him for this opportunity. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Lord. And see your ancestors happily, sitting there and chanting Lord's name. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And as they are chanting, slowly we will come back here. And whoever wants to continue the meditation can continue so. Who wants to open their eyes can open. Oh,
Shall we conclude the meeting, Master?
yes.
Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you. Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu.